5 elements in Feng Shui. Now, you may not even know what the 5 elements are, and maybe you do. Maybe you've heard it from different philosophies. Feng Shui is an ancient philosophy, and it is very, very closely connected to the lineage of the Tao, which is also kind of translated into the Way, and very much connected to traditional Chinese medicine. And I like to describe Feng Shui as acupuncture for your home. What I'm going to talk about in this video today is about the 5 elements, what they are, and where to hopefully minimize them in your home to balance your home a little bit more. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell, and you will get notified when my video is released. I have so much information that I just cannot wait to share with you about Feng Shui and to help really skyrocket your life and your home to next levels that you couldn't even imagine. So there's 5 elements in Feng Shui: fire, water, metal, wood, and earth. Now, how do we see those elements represented in our homes? Well, fire is the color red. So anything that's red, and even if it goes into pink and burgundy and bright colors, that's the element of fire. And it can be in furnishings or in paintings, artwork. That's how we'll often see it in people's homes. Water is the element of water. It's blue, black as well, and all kind of levels of blue. Oftentimes we see water in our homes, like literally our taps, our sinks, there's water flowing. But also artwork can be a very significant component around the element of water in people's homes. The third one is earth. And earth is literally the earth, like literally ground, stones, literally crystals. That's how we typically see it in people's homes, or seashells, or anything made like earthenware, pots, and all of that would be earth. And then wood. The element of wood is plants. So literally plants in a home will be what we would see and recognize as wood element. And then metal element is like the metal, the iron ore that comes from the earth. So we typically see that with furniture in kitchens, in utensils and equipment, washing machines, dryers, all of that will also be a metal element. And in most homes, we have all of those different elements in different places. When it comes to Feng Shui and how we work with our clients and what it really is, Feng Shui is about the balancing of the 9 different areas of your home. And you can check out the video that I've done about the 9 areas just to get a bit clearer on that. But it's the balancing of each of those areas. It's like placing the acupuncture point, like the needle, into each of those areas to balance each of the 9 areas of your life. So essentially each of those 5 elements, what I've shared, they are used as the activator or the balancer for a home. It's a very bespoke process. It's beyond the scope of this video, but what I want to really tap into is the different 5 elements. First of all, how they interact together. So there's 3 different cycles with the 5 elements. There's the creative cycle, there's the productive cycle, and there's the destructive cycle. So let's think about the creative cycle. So if we had water and you pour water on a plant, the plant grows. So that's a very productive cycle. That's a creative. It's growing. There's more of it happening when we put water onto the plant. Now, the destructive cycle would be fire on the plant or on the wood, because the fire would burn it and that would destroy it. So there's that element of the destructive. But interestingly enough, then the fire burning the wood creates earth. Okay, so then we have earth flowing. Then metal, if you were to abstract metal from the earth, it destroys the earth. So when you're pulling up metal out of the earth, it destroys the earth. And another creative one is, have you ever been like on a day when you wake up early in the morning, you go outside and you put your hand on a metal handrail and there's water on it. The metal creates the earth with the dew. So that's another area where there's the creative cycle. And it could be wood element where the metal will chop down the wood. Now this is definitely a more complex subject, and I dive more into it in my Powerhouse program. But just to know how these elements are working with each other often and kind of playing and interacting with each other around the home, and can be creating real balance or a real imbalance, and kind of can be wreaking havoc or doing great things in your home, depending on whether they're located. That's very bespoke. Every house is totally unique. But one thing to be really careful about when it comes to the 5 elements is not having excess of them. So I'm going to share 2 stories about 2 of the elements, and then talk about minimizing, why we would minimize not them all. But the very first one is the fire element. So my client Amy, when she hired me to feng shui her home, we were in the living room, and her living room area, and the wall was a very dark burgundy red. And typically with feng shui, when we're working with clients, it's not really about repainting or restructuring anything. And I'd said to her, like, on your list of things to do, eventually, this wall, I think, needs to be toned down. That was my sense immediately. And she worked with putting the remedies into all different areas, and saw amazing things happen in her abundance area, and all good things happen for her as she did the feng shui. But she knew in this back of her head was that she was going to change this wall one of the days, and she did that. It was maybe a year into her journey with the feng shui. So she painted the wall, and her family noticed a huge difference in her, and so did she. She had been very prone to having really big anger outbursts out of nowhere. Like, it was just like, rah! And I didn't know this about her until after she removed the red wall. And when she got rid of it, her family were like, wow, they're just gone. You just don't do it anymore. And for some reason, that fire element was really like triggering anger in her, and getting fiery and fired up about things. And once she shifted and changed it, it really neutralized it. So minimizing red, and if you do have lots and lots of red walls around your home, like, don't panic, But the next thing I would say is maybe you need to bring a bit of water in, like water element. The water could put out some of the fire. So, whether it's a picture of water or something in that would balance it a little bit. Now, this is definitely very generic information, and if I was working with a client specifically, it may not be that would be the cure for it. But the next element, I'll talk about having excess of it. The excess of water element in the home. Now, this became very obvious with a client of mine. She was moving from Washington down to Florida, and she was moving into her holiday home while they were waiting to get their new house. So she moved into the holiday home, and it's near the beach. That was like, they want to be near the sea. And the whole house was themed beach theme. Everything was blue. All the artwork was water elements. It was just like the whole house was water. And they were kind of like out of their depth and drowning when they moved in. They moved in, and immediately after moving in, they lost a huge contract from their supplier for their 7-figure business. And it was just gone. So she called me in, I looked and I was like, her house was, and if you've seen, I have a quiz to see your house type, but her house was good for people, good for money. So this wasn't quite making sense until I got the walkthrough. And she shared her home, and I was like, oh my God, there's just such an excess of water here. It's just too much. And when we did the analysis, she actually didn't need any water element in any part of her home. So essentially every single area of her home was being depleted by the element of water. So thankfully, we got it all fixed and turned around. Her business is now flourishing. They've actually just moved into their new house, which we're going to be feng shuiing very soon. And they've just moved in this week. So we can turn it around. So sometimes it's not like the actual house type that the issue. It can be the elements that are being used inside for the decor. So I have an incredible guide for you that is a checklist that's going to show you room by room what exactly you can be doing to improve the flow of energy and activate Feng Shui in your home. This guide and checklist is usually just for my clients, so you're in luck that you'll be able to get it today as a gift from me. You can grab that guide at patricialohan.com/checklist, and that will move you through every single room to Feng Shui your space and get that flow of all the things that you want coming into your life, easy peasy. So I hope that this has given you insight into the 5 elements. The reason behind me sharing these videos and also implementing Feng Shui in my own life, but also in encouraging others to do in their homes, is because I've just seen so many phenomenal results from so many clients from all over the world, from all walks of lives, from all house types, like small studio apartments in New York to seafront mansions in Australia. You name it, we Feng Shuied it. And we've seen amazing, profound changes for our clients. Honestly, that's what this is about. If you're looking for a shift and improvement in your life and you want to have some success like these ladies, come and join us in Powerhouse. It will get you started and really get deeper into the practice.